Japanese legend, the leader of the Suzuki Gun faction, and a master not just of pro wrestling, but as you said, Jim, of mixed martial arts as well.
This man makes strong men cry and weak men scream for their mommy. Minoru Suzuki, the innovator, one of the inventors of modern mixed martial arts, one of the founders of pancrase in Japan, is the guest of current mixed martial arts and Ultimate Fighting Championship praise.
Here he is, Suzuki. And by the way, notably absent tonight, his cornerman, El Desperado. Minoru Suzuki, one of the most dangerous men in the wrestling world. And Jim, if you're Joe Coffey, knowing what you went through and refused to lose, what do you change? What do you try and do differently this time around?
If I was Joe Coffey, knowing what I went through and refused to lose, I wouldn't have showed up tonight. But being that Joe Coffey is the Scottish Iron Man, he's a tough son of a bitch, if I can be allowed to say that. He is going to learn what he did wrong, he's going to improve on what he did better, and he's going to attempt to take this man down. You cannot, the knowledge that Minoru Suzuki possesses, he's trained under the god of Japanese puroresu, Paul Gotch, the legendary Wigan Snake Pit Master Billy Robinson, Japanese submission expert Yoshiaki Fujiwara. You can't have more experience or more knowledge than Suzuki. He's got to try to create an opening for himself. Suzuki is still, even though he doesn't seem like it, flesh and bone. I don't know whether Suzuki would quit, but you may be able to make him pass out from pain. Coffey has to create an opening and capitalize and do it quickly. He'll only make one mistake, will Suzuki.
Coffey and Suzuki feeling each other out in the early going. I mentioned a moment ago El Desperado. If there is any asterisk on that first win that Suzuki was able to score over Coffey, it's that for a period in that match, El Desperado was attacking Coffey on the outside. So without that, it really is just a one-on-one contest here. If Coffey doesn't win tonight, there won't be any excuses.
Well, I think Coffey, the one thing that he earned and refused to lose was some respect from Minoru Suzuki. And Suzuki respects few men walking. You have to prove that you're tough. You have to prove that you'll endure pain and walk across hell with gasoline britches on. And that's exactly what Coffey did, and perhaps that's why Suzuki doesn't want his corner man here. He wants to play it straight tonight. He wants to beat the man one-on-one.
Headlock takedown into the head scissors from Suzuki. Both men back to their feet, and Joe Coffey more than holding his own in that initial exchange. Coffey, as well as his recent loss to Suzuki, in general he's been getting a little bit frustrated. He lost recently in a singles match on Loaded to Big Damo as well. Coffey, obviously an extremely talented heavyweight here in the United Kingdom.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hang on.
Head to head like two bulls. The fans trying to be the impetus. The man in Joe Coffey's corner has a chop there, and Suzuki's going to laugh at that.
Suzuki.
And Coffey doesn't back up either.
These two exchanging chops. Suzuki is laughing. I tell you, I wouldn't be laughing if I got chopped by Joe Coffey.
Well, you're not Minoru Suzuki, Dave. You're not even Cutie Suzuki.
Who's that?
Never mind. Before your time. Look at this exchange.
Suzuki with those chops. He's backed Coffey into the ropes. He'll send him to the opposite side, and Suzuki goes for the big boot, but Coffey ducks it, and Coffey with the shoulder block takes down Suzuki.
And that's one thing, Suzuki is not used to an aerial attack from a man this big and this powerful. Gut wrench, carrying Suzuki around. Side salto.
Suzuki got his leg hook there as Coffey, and only gets a 2 count. Equally, as much as Coffey has plenty to learn from their first encounter, I'm sure Suzuki has taken quite a lot away from that match that Refused to Lose as well, and he's going to be even more dangerous because now in this second match he knows Coffey.
Well, that's exactly right. And Joe Coffey, the master, of course, of the discus lariat that he calls the Black Coffee. There's a swing, but look, Suzuki hooked him. Oh my God! My God, that's not legal, but it sure is effective.
Referee Steve Linsky, our senior referee here in WCPW, calling for the break and gets it. Now Suzuki grabbing the leg of Coffey, and they're out here in front of us.
Well, watch out, we saw this at Refused to Lose. Suzuki grabbed one of my bottles of my drink and whacked Coffey over the head with it. Suzuki is a dangerous man inside the ring, in the octagon, on the mat, or on the floor, or in the street for that matter.
He's got Coffey by the beard there. Now continuing to...
There's worse places he could grab him.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
Was that spit or a tooth that just flew into the crowd?
Well, I hope for Coffey's sake it was the former, but Suzuki is taking this up the stage here.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, hang on.
Suzuki, is he going for one of those deadly kicks? Bam!
Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it.
Just kicked a field goal. Did they do that over here? He kicked a soccer goal.
A conversion, we call that in rugby.
Well, he converted Coffey from conscious to unconscious. And it was a quick conversion.
I'll teach you rugby sometime. You'll like it. Like American football, but we don't wear helmets and pads.
Oh, that sounds pleasant.
And by the way, Joe Coffey, with an amateur rugby career to be proud of, but an athlete in more than one sport, is Coffey. But now, as he charged back in, Suzuki instantly gaining the advantage once again.
And you see Suzuki with those short boots, no socks. If he goes for an ankle or leg submission, the boots sometimes make it easier to get a grip. So Suzuki wants as short a boot as possible to make it harder for his opponent to submit him with a leg hold.
Finally releasing Coffey is Suzuki, and another chop.
Sounded like a rifle shot.
Coffey once again going chop for chop for chop, and Suzuki he was letting him do it.
He wasn't going to put up with that Fujiwara armbar. Can he get it? Can he lock it? If he does, this thing's over with. Coffey desperately makes the ropes, necessitates a break.
You saw how desperately Coffey was scrambling, just writhing in agony there, and Suzuki with absolutely no time allowing for Coffey to make a recovery with that boot to the right shoulder. Coffey with I should say Suzuki with the kick to that right arm of Coffey, and he's been really focusing on that part of the body in the past few minutes.
And look, Suzuki traps his man in the ropes on a regular basis. You can't win that way. It's not legal, but he can certainly do a lot of damage before the referee's 5 count.
Suzuki obviously careful not to get disqualified, but as you say, taking full advantage of that 5 count to inflict as much pain as possible on the Iron Man.
Oh! Once again, going back to those devastating open-handed chops.
Suzuki with an insane smile on his face. This man just loves inflicting pain, doesn't he, Minoru Suzuki?
Suzuki, brutal, cruel, has no compassion for his fellow man when he's in a fight, whether it be in a wrestling ring or a mixed martial arts match, any type of combat sports contest. He does what he has to do, and he doesn't feel badly about it.
Oh, God.
Look at this.
That front face-lock from Suzuki, cutting off the oxygen flow, the blood flow to the brain of Coffey.
And effectively, Suzuki has him in a standing guard, and Coffey turns it into a sustained vertical suplex.
That was tremendous, tremendous energy, tremendous heart from Coffey to find a way out of that.
I think he surprised Suzuki with that one, and Coffey now is turning the tables.
Suzuki in the corner, he's reeling.
Oh!
Here comes Coffey for a second time. Second avalanche. And Coffey will go, but this time Suzuki follows him, and Coffey saw him just in time.
Look at the agility of Joe Coffey, my God! A version of the best moonsault ever!
The hook leg, oh! It was 2 3/4 from Joe Coffey.
Boy, I tell you, these guys are really cooking. Joe Coffey showing amazing agility for a man of his size and strength. Could Suzuki be stunned?
Coffey is picking up Suzuki, and he's going to try, I think, and take advantage. of this rare moment where Suzuki looks vulnerable. You said he will make one mistake in the match, Jim. This might be it. Suzuki now fighting back. Such a small opening for Coffey before Suzuki found his way back into the contest.
Whoa! Boot to the face. Minoru Suzuki turning up the heat. Another soccer kick. Lateral press.
There's a cover again, and oh my goodness. Coffey once again getting out of it, but he is playing a dangerous game because once again it was just a split second away from 2 defeats in a row against Minoru Suzuki.
Well, Suzuki spending a lot of time disputing that count, and that gives Joe Coffey a chance to recover. That's a mistake that I would not think Suzuki would make. Possibly he thinks this match is well in hand.
Well, when they've competed for the first time, this is how Suzuki won, the Gotch pile driver. And
Carl Gotch's specialty. He got it refused to lose.
This time Coffey was carried, went for the black coffee, no one home.
Oh! Lariat to the back of the head. A rabbit lariat.
Coffey improvising when the black coffee missed. He hit him in the back of the head instead.
Good Lord!
German suplex, there's the bridge. Can he get him? Coffey for the biggest win in his career.
Two. Referee Steve Lindsay says 2. It was very close, but a 2 count.
I thought he got him, but big call from Linsky there, saying that was only a 2. There will be people debating that after this match
Coffey
finishes.
goes for the black coffee. Suzuki going for the sleeper.
Coffey able to power out of that again, and Coffey will go to the ropes. Suzuki following him though. Coffey went for another lariat, and Suzuki with the sleeper. Coffey is fading fast. Coffey got to find a way to the ropes.
Some of the greats in wrestling have used the sleeper to tremendous effect. Vern Gagne, the perennial AWA World Champion, was known for it. Johnny Weaver, the master of the sleeper in the Carolinas. Tim Mr. Wrestling Woods, an NCAA heavyweight champion in the United States, a master of the sleeper. But Minoru Suzuki has made it his own.
He's going for the Gotch pile driver again. He's got him up and he drops him on his head. Suzuki makes the cover, and for the second time in a row, Minoru Suzuki beats Joe Coffey with the Gotch pile driver.
I tell you, Dave, here's the flat fact of the matter. Regardless of whether Joe Coffey is 0 for 2 against Minoru Suzuki or not, he is raising his profile as Coffey with every challenge to a legend, an icon like Minoru Suzuki. Every time he has a great showing against a man of this talent and this reputation, Coffey's reputation is enhanced not only here in the United Kingdom, but around the world.
And what was striking here, Tim, I think, is that Coffey came a lot closer this time, I think, to defeating Suzuki. So the Iron Man is definitely learning every time he gets in there with him.
Oh, definitely. That's the way you learn. As a young boy in Japan, Minoru Suzuki came up the same way. He got the crap kicked out of him on a regular basis.
Look at that.
But he learned in there. Joe Coffey has earned the respect of a mixed martial arts icon, Minoru Suzuki. It's a different story than it refused to lose. There, Coffey was an errand boy. Here, he was a warrior.
Oh, Suzuki leaving the ring. Coffey is inviting him back in. And you're right, Coffey and Suzuki finally reaching a level where Suzuki was prepared to shake the hand of Joe Coffey, and I promise you he does not do that for every opponent.
Well, Joe Coffey has nothing to be ashamed of and a lot to be proud of here tonight. It will come. His day will come, will Joe Coffey's day, and it will be soon. And the fans chanting his name, Dave, they recognize that already.
Coffey has to make sure he doesn't get too frustrated from this defeat, because he is improving, as we said, with every one of these matches. As he takes on greats like Suzuki, this crowd clearly appreciating the effort from the Iron Man tonight.